So this is kind of weird. Hi. This is a little uncomfortable for me. It's been a long time since I've been on camera, but I wanted to come back on and discuss some things about what's been going on, if I'm coming back to the hobby, and essentially just talk about like what's happened, like where I went. I'm sure that not many of you really care, and maybe some of you will, but I absolutely am desperate to come back into the hobby. I want to start off by saying this will be a very slow process. I do still keep, not much, but I do still keep. And this process is going to be very slow. Like, I don't have massive amount of money and I have another child. So that's one of the places, one of the things that happened is I had a third baby just under 2 years ago. And yeah, I wanted to touch upon what my life has been like and where I've been essentially for the last few years and why I left the hobby the way that I did and how talk about it. So I will try to keep this brief, and I'm sorry if I'm super awkward. I do a lot of TikTok, I make book content, but I haven't been on camera to the tarantula hobby in a very long time. So where have I been? So I will keep this as brief as I can. I don't want this video to be super long and boring. And again, not many people will really essentially give a shit about where I've been. I initially left the hobby due to bullying, some quite intense bullying. I'm not going to go too into detail about that, but essentially I found the tarantula community became quite toxic. And because of that, I was finding that the person that you guys know as the Black Widow, the Black Widow's Web, that wasn't actually me. It was like a character that I was putting on due to not feeling like good enough and like I belonged. I don't want to make this like a woe is me video at all. It's just what I was going through at the time. I am no longer like that. I am now fully and authentically me. Like, there will be no bullshit coming from me in terms of I will not tolerate bullying. I will not tolerate elitism. I'm just not going to tolerate that at all. But yeah, I had some intense bullying from a group of people. And I do believe that that's still going on to some degree to this day. Not necessarily about me, but towards other keepers. And I found that as a tarantula keeper who did YouTube, I was bullied more than most because for some reason I was looked at as if I was behaving in a manner that was elitist, and that's just not true. I've never said that I know everything and anything there is to know about keeping. In fact, I loved learning. I loved learning about the hobby so much, and things have changed massively since I left, so I've got a lot catching up to do. I then went on to have another baby during that time. I have had some issues with my mental health. I have lost a lot of weight, like a significant amount of weight. I ended up having surgery because I'd lost weight. So I had surgery on my boobs and on my stomach. I had some surgeries. I have suffered with chronic anxiety and panic attacks over the last year in particular. Have had therapy, have gotten better, and have just recently been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition called Graves' disease, which is causing chronic hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. Still under diagnosis for that, still a work in progress, but I'm doing okay. And that leads me to now, am I going to come back to videoing and to the hobby? Yes, but very slowly. I once again expect to get nothing from this. Like, I'm not looking to make money. I'm not even looking for large followers. I miss doing what I enjoy. I have spent the last few years just not doing things for me. It's been for my children, having another baby, losing my identity. And over the last year, I've been regaining myself again, having surgery, losing a lot of weight, creating book content on TikTok. I'm a massive reader. I know that's got nothing to do with this page, but that's just where I'm at. I do still keep and have over the last few years. I don't have much at all. So this is going to be a very slow process. Like, I'm not going to be doing unboxings every single week. There won't even be a video every single week because I'm just not going to have the content to make. I would like to start going to some shows again. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I know the hobby can be a bit brutal still. But quite frankly, I don't really care at this point. Like, I'm not doing this for anybody else but myself. I miss keeping. I miss learning. I miss me, essentially. And I've worked really, really, really hard to claw my way out of where I was when I was first in the hobby. That person was not me, and I behaved appallingly, sometimes towards other people, because I felt like I needed this to people please. And actually that wasn't working anyway. So the person that you will encounter at the shows is not going to be the same person that you encountered all those years ago. And I'm really pleased about that, because it's not a big-headed thing to say. I'm a better person now than I was then. I'm now 34 rather than 23, 24. I've had another baby. I've been through a hell of a lot over the last few years, and maybe if it was of interest, I will go into more detail in a different video about that at some point. But to end this video, I'm simply going to show you the only things that I do keep, and you'll realise that it is literally hardly anything, like, at all. But this will be a slow progression of rebuilding my channel, rebuilding my collection very, very slowly. Not buying just because it's cool to have the newest thing. And that's the saddest part, is I found that I initially joined the hobby out of the love of keeping, and then felt immense pressure from the YouTube side of things to have the best unboxings, the best feedings, the best this, the best that, because it is what draws in the crowd to watch and learn. But that's not the right way to do it at all. I miss keeping because I want to keep, and that's all I'm going to be doing. Of course, there are going to be some unboxings because I am going to be growing my collection, but I'm going to be very selective about what I keep. I'm not going to just keep something because somebody has said it's brand new and it's cool and we should all have it. I don't have the disposable income to do that. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to be back. I have missed you all tremendously. I cannot wait to go to one of my first shows. I'm hoping that I will maybe go to the one in November. I think it's up in Brighton, if I'm correct. I've missed the BTS this year. I believe the BTS was last month. I don't know when the next one is, but I will work hard to try and get to the next one, and yeah, see where we go. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'm an open book at this point. I am more than happy to answer any and all questions about my life, where I've been, the bullying, anything you want to know. You reach out to me. I'm also on Instagram and I'm on TikTok with books. So if you're a book lover, I've got a absolute crap ton of book content on my TikTok. So I will put that down in the description. But yeah, I will now pop you downstairs and show you the only thing that I do currently keep, and hopefully we will build from here on out. Okay, so one of the only tarantulas that I currently keep, it's one of two. This is a Nando caraparensis. Sorry about that terrible spelling. There she is down there. I actually think this is a boy. I don't know whether she'll feed. Let's see if we can get her to take that. She recently molted, so she should. Yeah. There she goes. Yeah, Nando caraparensis, and I have a Nando coloratoviolosus. Again, been a very long time since I've had to actually say these names to anybody that understands what they mean. So that's one. And here is the other one. She is buried way down here. Like, I cannot see her from here at all. Like, not even slightly. She is all the way down here. So I will try and drop some food in for her. This one I do believe is a girl. These both came from the Spider Shop. Don't ask me why I decided to start with these guys. I think because they're typically super good feeders, and my children really wanted something that they could sort of not interact with, but just enjoy. I have no idea whether that went down there or not, because obviously I cannot see. So I don't think we're going to get a feeding clip from her. Yeah, sorry. So I've just moved to my garden to end this video because I was inside and I've had to put the baby to bed and I don't want to be noisy and bother her. That's all I keep, just the two. So that's where I'm currently at for now. But I'm going to build on this. We're going to build on this, and I'm super excited for it. So stick around. Comment down below anything you want to know or ask. I'm also looking for someone who's good at like making like intro videos, because I need to get all that kind of stuff set up and I'm really not very good with that side of things. So if you know anybody that does that, happy to pay, obviously, that could help me with like a logo and reinventing my channel, I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'll see you again next time. Can't really tell you when that's going to be because, as I said, slow progress, but next time.